Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name's Jolie, and today we're going to be reading from the book Discovering Choices. It's been a minute since I've read from it, and I was like, I need to read from this book again. So that's where we're at. We left off on the top of page 18, just the end of that one story. So today we're going to finish up page 18, start with a new story, and go through. Possibly, we'll see how it goes. Maybe get to page 20 today. So there are two stories, and it's in the chapter where it says we start from where we are. So say hello to the cat. Just taking a little rest time. So anyway, let's see what we have. I need this reading, and all the other readings are up for those who just come once in a while. Hello, or are new. There are daily readings on this channel uh, for the Al-Anon literature. So we have Courage to Change, Hope for Today, and One Day at a Time in Al-Anon. We also have a series where we're learning A Course in Miracles. We are already on lesson 319. So all those lessons are up. So just go to the main page of the channel, and you'll be able to find the day of the month that you'd like for readings, and also uh, if you're working with A Course in Miracles, you'd like to have it read to you. I wanted it read to me, so I read it to myself, and then I'm sharing it with you guys. So there you go. Today was the lesson from A Course in Miracles was, I came for the salvation of the world. And I thought, okay, something to think about. It just gives you that, it opens our perception so that when we're like healing ourselves together with our higher power and each other. So I'm showing up for you, and you guys are showing up for me. So it works all good. And paintings, and going to be working, just working with your creative energy, however that is. If you write or sing or, cook, something you want to have some type of creative endeavor, whatever that is. And, even if it's working a great crossword puzzle, or uh, you know, what else can we say? There's so many different ways to be creative. All right. So here we go. Page 18. It's starting with the new story. If you have this book, Discovering Choices. So here we go. I am the fourth son in a family of 5 children. My father was an alcoholic before he ever met my mother. He continues to drink to this day. I was born in denial and remained that way until I began regularly attending Al-Anon. I have never known my father outside of alcoholism. The constant presence of his disease faded into the background blind spot of my life, like the drone of the refrigerator. It wasn't until I developed alcoholism myself and found AA that I realized that I was also sick from growing up in an alcoholic home. I remember a lot of guilt, shame, and embarrassment. I remember anger that I couldn't understand and fear that kept me always on the edge, never sure when would it, never sure when I would say or do the wrong thing. I still suffer from mild paranoia, always wondering if someone might be insinuating something or dropping subtle hints, never quite sure when to take things seriously. Meetings are the key for me to deal with this part of my disease. Whether we are reading from the literature or sharing in an open discussion, there is a clear and direct quality to it all that I find very reassuring. Simple sayings such as, I didn't cause it, I can't cure it, and I can't control it, cut through my confusion and help me to see what is right before my eyes. Learning to respond rather than react has made it possible for me to separate my father from his sickness. I used resentment to pretend that I didn't love my father, and which made it easy to believe that he didn't love me. Today, I realize that his disease does not come from a lack of love. Today, I know I can love him completely without endangering myself or enabling him in any way. Through Al-Anon, I'm learning to encourage the person without encouraging the problem. More and more often, I find ways to bring happiness into my father's life, sharing what I can of the ease and comfort I find in the fellowships. Working my program has proven to be the most helpful thing I can do for my father. I can see how my efforts are making his life easier. One of the gifts of the program has given me is the ability to keep in mind all the good things I see in my father. In fact, one day when I was feeling down, my father, beer in hand before noon, was able to cheer me up. I see that he needs to know that there is something deeply good about who he is. I'm beginning to understand that with the help of a higher power, I might just have a chance to show him how meaningful and valuable his life really is. This way, maybe one day he'll find the strength and courage it takes to get help. So I'm going to stop there because, yeah, for me, I know that I'm doing this for myself so that I can have a better relationship with the people that I love, whether they drink or not, use or not. And I'm not doing it so that they go to fix themselves. I let that go. I let that go. Not saying that it doesn't, like, I don't think about it or wish it. Um, and when that happens and I remember to maybe call my sponsor. I read something, I'll go to a meeting, and I'll pray just for God's will, not for any result. I used to pray for the result, and well, definitely before I came into Al-Anon, and I was disappointed. And so I asked my sponsor, I asked some of the people in the meetings, and I said, how do I stop thinking about this? I'm obsessing over it. They're not stopping. What do I do? And they're like, you need to pray for them. I'm like, that's not working. I don't want to think about them anymore. I just don't want to. They're like, no. I said, well, all right, so how do I do that? They said to just pray for God's will, not for anything that I want specifically. So what I'm supposed to do is just name them. I pray for, fill in the blank, the name, for your will for them. That's where I leave it. So this way I can limit my obsessive thinking, and eventually it gets better. And it really does work. So I do this every day, especially when someone's really had triggered some of my trauma or emotions. So that's been really helpful. So I'm just going to pass it on to you guys. So, and remind myself when I listen to this. So anyway, I'll go ahead and stop there, and we'll say the Serenity Prayer, and we'll be reading the next one. So this way you can just have something small to shake around, gargle with a little bit, have in mind just for a little bit. I'd like to hear your comments, and thank you guys. Subscribe so that you can be notified when there's a new reading up, if you are so called to do that, and share and like, so other people can find us. Okay. So with that said, we're going to say the Serenity Prayer, the We version. Let's be present. God, we pray for the sick and suffering. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we can't change, to have the courage to change the things we can ourselves, and the wisdom to know the difference. God's will be done. Keep coming back. It works if you work it, because you're worth it. And I love you.